Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spinsterella. Discover the dark side of love in this goth and lovely romance with Spinsterella. Get Spinsterella in paperback and e-readers at your favorite online bookseller today. Hollywood's latest entry in the social engineered swirling agenda is the new Taylor Swift video Lover. And in this video Lover, your Taylor Swift is shown having an interracial relationship with a black man, something that we don't see usually as related to these socially engineered swirling campaigns from Hollywood. Now, usually when they do these media featuring these interracial relationships, they oftentimes feature a black woman with a white man, or they feature a black woman with a non-black man. Now, the reason why they usually do this is because they know that the two biggest customer bases, black women and white men, if they ever see a black man with a white woman, they get extremely upset and they get extremely incensed, just like many black women got extremely incensed when General Mills launched a Cheerios ad featuring a black man with a white woman and having a biracial child. When they released that ad, it had so much backlash that General Mills didn't feature it ever again because the two biggest customer bases, white men and black women, were extremely disgusted with the sight of seeing that black man with that white woman. So that's the main reason why we haven't seen many of these swirling advertisements or swirling media featuring your black man, white woman couple, because the core customer bases who watch most media, they don't want to see it. For example, with your Supergirl, your James Olsen, a black man, was supposed to be featured as the love interest. However, after many racist fanboys got upset and even some white women got upset, your James Olsen's role went from love interest to background character because most of the people at Warner Brothers and CBS did not want to alienate the core customer base of white men. And as your James Olsen was set to pursue a relationship with Lena Luthor, that was also scuttled because a large group of white feminists and white females did not want to see a black man having a relationship with a white woman. So oftentimes, the main reason why we do not see interracial relationships between your white women and black men in media is because the audience of white men and white women and black women, three core consumer bases, just don't want to see that, and they get very angry, and companies don't want to go out of their way to alienate those customer bases by featuring those images because those images really make the customer base angry. However, your Taylor Swift is releasing this Lover video with her with a black man, and again, it's all part of the social engineered swirling campaign. Moreover, it is in a desperate attempt by your Taylor Swift to get attention. Now, your Taylor Swift is a fading star in the pop scene, and it really has not been relevant in years. So she decided to make this Lover video to gain the attention of the public and to try to get people talking about her, because the easiest way to generate controversy for a white woman is to show herself being involved in a relationship with a black man. Because if a white woman shows herself with a black man, usually that's going to, again, agitate many of the white men, many of the white women, and especially rile up the emotions of the black woman, who usually, when she sees that image, gets very angry, and in some cases will start rolling her eyes and sucking her teeth once she sees it. Unfortunately, this may be a bit of a negative backlash for Taylor Swift because when you generate controversy like this, again, it's never very positive because you've alienated 3 customer bases. Now, usually people like Pink back in the day, they would go out here and feature themselves with black love interests. And I remember back in the early 2000s when Pink was oftentimes featured in her videos with black love interests. However, once Pink got mainstream, then she decided to go out here and start featuring herself in videos with white male love interests. And that's because your Pink, back when she first started in the late 90s and the early 2000s, she was trying to appear to be hip and edgy and really as one of these far edgy type performers. However, once her music started to hit that mainstream, we started to see her drop these black male love interests in her videos and then start switching to white male love interest in her videos. And I see the same thing with your Taylor Swift. What she wants to do is generate this controversy as she pushes this agenda, just like Pink did, and then later on, as she starts to regain her audience, she will start to try to reincorporate these white male love interests. But this whole thing could wind up blowing up in your Taylor Swift's face, because most of the people who know her know that she's been around the block, and they know how desperate she is, because they know that your Taylor Swift isn't the star that she used to be back in the early to mid 2000s and early 2010s. She's no longer considered the sweet, innocent white girl anymore. No, she's now considered to be the messed up, used up girl. And this attempt to try to use black men to try to reestablish her reputation, this whole thing may blow up in her face, because again, the black man, white woman relationship is extremely frowned upon in America. And when it comes down to the climax of the video, where she's showing herself with this black man and having this biracial child, this is the ultimate thing that is frowned on by your mainstream American audiences. And once they see that image, that's the thing that may put the nail in the coffin for Taylor Swift's career. Because when it comes down to these racists and white supremacists, who are a major part of a lot of these fan bases, when they start to see that, that's when you start making them nervous about their own genetic annihilation. So your Taylor Swift, in her attempt to try to make this marketing stunt to get attention for herself and push the socially engineered Swirling campaign, this thing may backfire on her very badly, because most people aren't lovers of the Swirling agenda when it involves black men and white women, and they don't love the idea of being shown a future with a biracial child from a black man in these videos. And that's the sad truth about your America and abroad. They're all for the Swirling agenda as long as it features black women and white men, but they don't really like the reverse, which is the black man with the white woman. And your Taylor Swift may have miscalculated on the socially engineered Swirling agenda, because again, this type of media, once it's presented in media, it often gets a bad backlash, and this bad backlash usually does not lead to a positive reaction from the audience. So your Taylor Swift, in her attempt to try to push the Swirling agenda, just didn't understand that there is a clear double standard as related to it, and that double standard is one where the black woman and the white man can be seen in the media having interracial relationships, because both of them control economies, both of them control consumer bases, and both of them control economic resources. And because they control economic resources and control the economy and are considered the heads of the households in their communities, they can have that image of themselves in the media. However, your black man, who is considered to be the bottom of the world in white supremacist America, if he is shown with the most popular woman in the world, the one elevated to the highest position in society, like your Taylor Swift is, that's something that's not going to go over well with most of these audiences. Now, your Taylor Swift, again, what she's trying to do is the exact same thing that Pink did, but Pink was at the beginning of her career when she had these black male love interests, and your Taylor Swift is heading towards the end of her career, and she doesn't even know she's headed towards the end of her career, because if you go out here and put out a video like this, then what's going to happen is you're going to wind up alienating the major core base of fans, and that core base of fans, once they see this video, which is again more social engineered swirling and more of a social engineered swirling agenda, this is not going to go over well, because again, when it comes down to that core customer base of white males, white females, and black females, they just don't like the idea of seeing a black man in a position with a relationship with a white woman, because the black woman sees it as an insult to her, the white man sees it as an insult to him, and many white women, they don't want to get involved with black men like that, because they see the white man as the ultimate man. And sadly, your Taylor Swift really doesn't understand how this video is going to go over, because it looks like she's so desperate for attention and so desperate to reclaim her fame, she doesn't understand the whole business of entertainment and a lot of the white supremacy and racism that go on behind the scenes. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to try some of my SJS Direct publications, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.